Hello, I'm Billy Leisure, and this is my Super Bowl 52 prediction, as I will be doing a preview and analysis of both teams in this game, and my predictions of what is going to happen in the game and who's going to win. So, in the AFC, representing the AFC is big shocker, the New England Patriots. This is Tom Brady's going for his sixth Super Bowl ring. This is his eighth appearance in the game. Obviously, he's no stranger to this game. Tom Brady last year winning his fifth Super Bowl really cemented his legacy probably as one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Although his, people who don't like him because of all the, the alleged cheating allegations, will say that tainted his legacy. But there's no denying the success of Brady and Belichick in that quarterback coaching duo. It's one of the best in NFL history. So, I think obviously the keys for the Patriots in this game will be if Tom Brady does what he's done in his entire career in the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl, they'll probably win this game. I think the biggest, like the X factor in this game will be Rob Gronkowski, and that's really going to be tricky for that Eagles defense to stop him. There's been reports that he's cleared the concussion protocol. I mean, even if that's not true, I expect him to play in this game. I think in my opinion, Gronky was out in last year's Super Bowl. I think had Gronkowski played in that Super Bowl, I don't think the Patriots would have been down 28-3. I mean, Tom Brady can play well with any receiver, running back, tight end on the field, but let's just put it this way: he's his number one target. This season, especially. I think with Julian Edelman, who tore his ACL in the preseason, Gronkowski became his favorite target this year, and it's shown. So Gronk's, he's going to be the big player in this game. So and the other weapons for the Patriots, that's going to be big. I know, I've looked at the Patriots defense, and it's not the greatest it's been, especially without Dante Hightower, but they have a lot. I feel like they still have a lot of some pieces on defense to win the Super Bowl. I mean, James Harrison, that experience that he has, I think that's going to be huge for that defensive line for the New England Patriots. Malcolm Butler, that's going to be big as well. So that's going to be keys on the defense. We've heard, before the postseason started, there was that whole controversy about Jimmy Garoppolo and the Patriots franchise and Belichick being against Robert Kraft and Brady, and everybody's just but it seems like every one of these scandals or controversies, the Patriots, they somehow rise above it. And it's looking like, they're almost on their way. The funny thing is Tom Brady was on the cover of Madden this year. We all know about the Madden curse, but he's breaking the Madden curse, and this will obviously be the stamp on that. And you look at all the rest of the league, it kind of got injured a lot. A lot of the star players, got injured this year, so it seems like he kind of put the curse on the rest of the league. But the irony about this game is that the third Tom Brady's third ring, which cemented them as a dynasty, was against the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 39. And it seems like the second phase of that dynasty, could be closed against the Eagles again. It's like they're the conclusion of that, legacy. And listen, a lot of people think this is going to be Brady's last game. And I know in a press conference he said, I'm still healthy. I don't know why you guys are, pestering me to retire. I feel good, and I'm going to play as long as I can. I think when you hit 40, a lot of people think you're on your way out. I could see Tom Brady playing a couple more years, and I think maybe that's why they traded Garoppolo. But we'll see, and we'll see where that goes. That goes forward. Moving on to the NFC, the Eagles. I mean, what a season they've had. I mean, a lot of people, including myself, really doubted them despite having Carson Wentz. And then the Eagles just went on that tear where they look like the best team in the NFL. Carson Wentz was playing at an MVP level, and then he tore his ACL against the Rams, and then everybody casted them off in the playoffs. That Nick Foles, despite not being terrible, not being bad, and having experience playing with the Eagles, they were an underdog. I mean, they were the first. I think it was the first time against the divisional round against the Falcons that the number one seed was the underdog against the number 6 seed. and they've loved being the underdog. They were the underdog in the NFC Championship game, and they just destroyed the Vikings. And Nick Foles, he looked like the old 2013 Nick Foles that a lot of people before Foles got traded, a lot of people were seeing him. He's the next big quarterback for the Eagles organization until Chip Kelly traded him. Now Nick Foles, he's got a chance to, maybe not necessarily redeem himself, but put his faith back in Eagles fans. And this is a big game for him because I personally think Carson Wentz is playing at a great level. I don't think there's a quarterback controversy in Philadelphia. I think if he has a big game, even if the Eagles lose, I think that he's going to get, if he has like throws a couple touchdowns, throws like over 250 yards, he has a great performance. It's going to be big for him because a lot of people are going to say, he's going to, he'll get a lot of interest from a lot of teams that are looking for quarterbacks, and there's a lot of teams looking for quarterbacks right now. So, he'll get a lot of interest, and I think he'll get a decent contract from this game. So it's really big for him. And like I've said before, the keys for the Eagles, they love the underdog role. They've, championed it this entire playoff run. One big factor for them is that defense. It's been very underrated. A lot of people have looked at some of the best defenses going into this playoffs. You had the Vikings, you had the Rams, Jacksonville. I mean, you had all these great defenses, and they've kind of fell under the radar. Maybe because they don't have that, they're just a good defense just all around. They don't have like Jacksonville. I mean, the sacks, with Calais Campbell and, Jalen Ramsey. The Vikings had Xavier Rhodes and, Harrison Smith, LA had Aaron Donald and, all those big players for the Rams defense. But, they come under the radar. I think the X factor in this game, I think the big X factor for both teams and the position that's the X factor in the Super Bowl is the tight end position. So for the Eagles, that's Zach Ertz. I think that he's an underrated player, and he's a big part of that offense, and I think he could be a really important part to this team. But I also think a mention here, an honorable mention for what's going to be the X factor are LeGarrette Blount. Ex-Patriot, won 2 Super Bowls with them. I think he knows Brady. I mean, listen, they'll have a game plan. It's not like it's going to be a huge advantage over them, but I think he knows. I think having this experience of winning Super Bowls and with the team that you're facing is going to be very important for the Eagles. So Chris Long also, he's a decent defensive player. He was on the Patriots last year, so that might help out as well on the defensive side. The one thing that's big for the Eagles, that they have an advantage over the Patriots, is not only they love the underdog role, but number two, that running game is definitely way better. With Jay Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount, it's really helped them in the playoffs and through the season. And I think that's going to be huge because if they're able to have a good running game. And I think with the Patriots defense, they're probably concerned on the run game. They want to put pressure on Nick Foles to have a big game. Your running game's not going to beat us. It's going to be Nick Foles. We're going to we challenge you to beat us. Is the motto I think the Patriots are, and their game plan is going to have to be against the Eagles if they want to win back-to-back Super Bowls again. So, we'll see what happens there. But there's definitely the advantage for the running game definitely has to go to the Eagles. So overall, I think. This is, the Eagles, this is their first Super Bowl since Super Bowl 39, in which they lost to the Patriots. They've been that's a cursed franchise, I guess you could say. They've been waiting for a Super Bowl for a very long time. I think there's a lot more pressure on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, knowing you've never won it. The Patriots, their motto for the last couple of years have really been do your job, and this is the way they're going to put this game. I don't think there's not that much pressure. If this game doesn't defy Tom Brady's legacy, it's another, nice achievement to his legacy to say he's the best quarterback of all time. But I think he's the best quarterback of all time without it, even if he loses this game. I think the Eagles, there's more pressure on them to win, but we'll see what happens there. Predictions in this game. I think this, a lot of people are saying this game, the Patriots, they're handedly the favorites, and they are, but I think this game will be closer than expected. I say it's like somewhere between 3 and 7 points. I mean, Super Bowls for the most part, excluding Super Bowl 48 and Super Bowl 44, were one-score games, I believe. So I think we've seen close Super Bowls and ever since the new millennium, and I expect another one. Excuse me, I forgot the Buccaneers Raiders Super Bowl. That was a blowout. But yeah, experience. I think experience will matter. Knowing that it's New England, you've been here, done that. That's your attitude. That's also another attitude from the Patriots. Um, I think personally, Foles will have a decent performance in this game, like I've said that he needs to have. But I think ultimately Brady will be just a little bit better. And even though I'm really tempted to pick the Eagles because they love the underdog role, and nobody's expecting them to beat the Patriots. I just can't go up. I just my brain just can't go up against Tom Brady. I mean, it's just so you just can't doubt this man, and I think he'll. I think the Patriots will become the first team, will do what they did over a decade ago, and they were the last team to do it, which is win back-to-back Super Bowls. I think the final score will be close, and I think it's gonna be a touchdown game. I picked the Patriots winning 24-17 against the Eagles. So that's my prediction for this game. Although, like I said, last year's Super Bowl, which I had a pretty close prediction of, I think they could go either way. But I'm just from experience, I have to pick the Patriots. So, that's my prediction. So, thanks everyone for watching. If you hadn't seen my podcast yesterday, check that out. The description is below in the information box. Follow me on Twitter at BaileyLaser96. If you like the video, click like. If you like the content on my channel, please subscribe. And comment on your thoughts of the Super Bowl. What do you think are going to be the big factors in this game for both teams? What do you predict is going to happen? Do you agree with my prediction? Do you disagree with it? So leave the comments in the comments section below. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a great time watching the Super Bowl and the end of the NFL season. And I'll probably do a recap video next week. So thanks everybody for watching, and see you later.